Is Kanye West's Donda album a Christian gospel album? That is the question that I will be answering in this video today. And my answer is, yeah, no, maybe it is. So, Donda, which is Kanye West's new project, it is killing the charts. Killing the charts. So apparently, now look, Billboard charges you for like the latest chart information, and I'm not paying for, a Billboard subscription just so I can find some information. So on Twitter, there was somebody took a picture of the gospel/Christian charts on Billboard on September 11th. So this is not the latest, but I promise you, nothing has changed really. Maybe like a song or two since then. So if you look at this image that you see on the side of me, right? You can see Kanye West is basically dominating the entire 20 slots of gospel music and Christian music as far as popular songs, right? And there was apparently some complaints by gospel/Christian artists about this because Donda is actually not a gospel album. That's the accusation. It's not really Christian. It's not really gospel. I mean, he has songs on there with his cursing, but he bleeps it out. Songs about his ex-wife and his marriage. So how could this possibly be a Christian/gospel album? Now, here's the thing. This is actually a very interesting conversation to have. And I'm split because what makes a gospel album or a Christian album gospel or Christian? Is it simply the content of the album? So, for example, does it have to be all songs that are about God or in reverence to God or based in kind of the Christian doctrine? Or is the identity of the artist what makes the project Christian or gospel? Which one is it? Because on Donda, you have a bit of everything. So unlike Jesus is King, which was Kanye's previous album, Jesus is King was an album that was definitely made for Christians. It was made with God as the theme. That's kind of all he was talking about. There wasn't really much conversation about his personal life. There wasn't really much conversation about other topics. It was God, Jesus, God. Point blank, period. So every song from track 1 to, I don't remember how many tracks was on Jesus King, but you understand my point. Donda is different. It's an album dedicated towards his mother, number one, right? Then when you listen to the songs, Jail, which has a religious theme to it in undertone, but also there's lines in there about his wife, about his marriage. Hurricane, Kanye's verse is definitely about his personal life. The Weeknd's hook is religious, but that's about it. And then Lord I Need You, it's about his marriage to Kim. So what is it? But then he has very, very religious tracks like 24, which is definitely a gospel track. Heaven and Hell, which is definitely I would consider to be a gospel track. I don't know. I don't. Praise God. The chorus, very religious. Baby King's verse, mixed. So what makes a gospel record a gospel record? I think that is changing before our very eyes. I think Kanye West is going to end up changing a lot of the way we consume or think about gospel/Christian music, because I've been saying for a while, look, I'm a black man. I grew up in a black church. I'm a church organist. And so I love, and I apologize if you can see my ashy hands. I definitely forgot to lotion my hands for this video, but whatever. I love gospel music. Love it. I even love the white Christian music, like the Hillsongy stuff. That's the new stuff that y'all like. I like that too. But I've been saying for a while that what Kanye West did on Donda, I wish we have more of that, because Kanye West might be the only Christian out here who's a public figure who is very raw and honest. And so you can see Kanye West's flaws. He tells you about his sins. He tells you about, what he's going through. And you don't really hear that too much in gospel Christian music. You'll hear generalizations about certain things, but not specifics. You don't hear somebody talking about their struggle with alcohol, and alcohol addiction, like Kanye West did on Donda, or stepping out on his wife apparently during Hurricane. I forgot the exact bar, but yeah, you don't hear that in Christian gospel music. And so when you hear Kanye's record, it actually makes it seem that it helps make it seem more tangible that, what, I can be a Christian because what Kanye West is, and guess what, he's still going through this stuff. He's not this flawless figure, right? When you think of Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond, Kurt Carr, Who else? Donnie McClurkin. You think of these individuals almost like, this is messed up because you're not supposed to, but you view them as if they are without flaws. The way you view pastors, deacons, etc., etc. For some reason, we have this thing inside of us where we associate people who declare themselves followers of the gospel that they are somehow less prone to the day-to-day stuff that we go through. And with Kanye, it's not going to happen. And so, given what the project is about, ultimately, I think there's enough religious undertones, or is it overtones, whatever. Even though Donda is less preachy than Jesus is King, religion is sprinkled out all throughout this entire album. Like, he doesn't shy away from his faith. He doesn't shy away from his ultimate message. And so, even though individual tracks might not be under the Christian/religious umbrella, I believe when you look at the entire body of work of Donda, it is this religious messaging that he has going on throughout the album that makes the album a religious record. And so, my takeaway for the gospel artists that are mad: make better music. It is what it is. Kanye should win every gospel category at every award show this year to next year. If he doesn't, he's being blackballed, or the powers that be don't consider him breaking all of these records to be relevant. And so they don't view Kanye West as a quote-unquote real Christian. That's the only way, is if you face bigotry from the Christian overseers, so to speak. So, yeah, make better music, gospel artists, Christian artists out there. I think it'll be dope if people follow Kanye's path. I think Christian artists should talk about what they're going through. I got you. We love the praise and worship. I love choirs. I got them. Guess what? I got a bunch of records, man. A bunch of them. I got a bunch of gospel records, a bunch of Christian records that I have, and I will always love them. Unlike secular music, Christian music, gospel music almost never loses its value once you have kind of a hit. Total Praise is never going anywhere. Melodies from Heaven is never going anywhere. Those records don't age. They don't get old because we perform these records in our churches. So they're with us forever. You Made a Way. It's here, forever. But I want to hear which one of Mary Mary, the gospel group. I forgot which one was it. Was it Erica or the other one who her husband cheated on her? You know how much I would have loved to hear a record of her singing about what it was like finding out that her husband, who was also a Christian, was out here cheating on her with somebody else, and how she had to work through that, knowing that she made a promise with God about her marriage, and so she had to work through it. I would have loved to hear that record. That would have been a dope record, a dope concept, something that everybody goes through, including Christians. That would have been dope to hear. Kirk Franklin, I would love to hear a song about his relationship with his son that he says is fractured. Why can't we see that? Talk to us about those things because we can relate to that. So ultimately, I think Kanye is going to get a bunch of pushback from the gospel/Christian community with his work if he continues to kind of have this Christian secular mix. But I think this is actually where that field, that genre of music needs to go if it wants to actually maintain relevancy and ultimately to be useful in saving souls or leading people to Christ, which as a Christian should be your ultimate goal. So that's how I feel about it. Let me know how you feel down below. Do you agree with me, disagree about Donda? So I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.